today. This is your girl Adeshewa, and we are back on the show Straight Up with Shewa. Yes, today I am back with a topic, and I'm going to be using myself as a preference. I'm going to be telling you my own true life experience so we can learn from it. They always say experience is the best teacher, but you do not have to wait for you to experience it before you learn. You can learn from other people's experience, and that's why we are here. And I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me actually from my teenage years. I'm somebody who always go through pain with my monthly cycle. It's always been like that, and I'm so used to it, and I think it's just normal. It's a lot of pain, to be honest with you, but I just got used to it. It's part of life. That's the way I saw it. So growing up, it was the same. Then, like they say sometimes that don't worry, when you have a child or two, the pain is going to go away and all that. I had my daughter, yet it wasn't going away. I was still having the same pain. So I decided to talk to the doctors, and they were saying, oh, it's normal, that I just have to get a stronger painkiller. So I just started taking more, stronger painkiller, story of my life for so long. So after a period of time, the pain was really much. At a point in your life, you just think that this is even too much. I need something done to it. So I went back to my doctors and told him that, oh, I needed something done about this pain. I can't be going through all this kind of pain in my life. Am I going to live like this for the rest of my life? Something has to be done about it. And the only offer they gave me then was that only if I want to be getting injection. I think that's a day or two before the period or something like that, I'll come get the injection. Then it will last me for the period of the that I needed it for. And I'm like, I don't like injections, so no thank you. So I didn't take it. Then I went on taking the strong painkillers and moving on with my life. Then sometimes I talk to my friend. I'm somebody that I hardly go to the hospital. If you see me in the hospital, that means I'm dying. To be honest with you, I don't like going. I see no reason. Maybe because I grew up with pain. So anytime anything is wrong with me, I would just get painkiller and I'm fine. The only thing that actually happened to me, to be honest, in life, apart from that pain, is when I get flu. Flu is my sickness. That's the only thing that happens to me. I don't get really sick, like people do like that. I really don't get sick. So I really don't have reasons to go to the hospital. That's what I thought anyway. So it got to a point that I was like, oh, I've got enough of this pain and all that. And I went back to the doctor, and what he said to me was that what they could do about it, there was all this while that I'm going through all these issues going to them, they never for one said, oh, let's test you out and even see what this problem was. Let's see what the cause of this pain was. No, there was never a time like that. And there was a time my monthly cycle started getting so bad that I bleed a lot, like a lot. And you know that the doctors didn't do any test. All they said to me was that we can give you something that is going to reduce the blood, or get rid of the blood, something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm somebody that I like things to be normal in my life, so I'm like, okay, if you do something to get rid of the blood, that means it's not normal, it's not natural. So I said no thank you. So I didn't take it. Then all of a sudden, I had this friend that is always saying, Shewa, you work too hard, you don't even take care of yourself, you need to do that, you need to go to the hospital, find out what is wrong, this, that, and that. So I decided, okay. And the person said to me that, see, the way it works, where you are, like this country I am, is you really have to persist. You have to give them reasons to want to do this test for you, because I didn't have any private medical insurance. If I did, I would have gone there, and I'm sure they would have done something better. So I decided to go back again, and I said, okay, you know what, doctor, I don't think this is normal. I'm having pain. This is not okay. I need something to be done. And they sent me to do a scan for the first time ever. So I went, did the scan the first time, and you know what happened? After I came back from that scan that day, I started getting this pain. The pain was so bad, it was like, you know, I can only describe it as a labor pain, to be honest with you. Like, I was like, is it because I did a scan? But I think it was just a coincidence, really. That pain will have come, you know. But it just came at a time that maybe God just wanted me to know something was really wrong with my body, you know. So I was like, what's going on? So I had to get the ambulance, go to the hospital, and they, did, oh my God, they did the normal scan, the ultrasound scan. One thing with ultrasound scan is it's different from, the MRI. So MRI sees everything clearly and it can tell you what. But with them, they were not. They just did the ultrasound and said, oh, this is what it was. Don't worry, just use painkiller and all that and all that, and you will be fine and all that. But for like a week, 2 weeks, I was getting this pain off and on, off and on, and this pain was so bad that I kept going back to the, emergency. I kept going back to the hospital. I kept going back to the hospital, and they would do the same thing, send me back home. Do the same thing, send me back home. Like, this is not okay. Okay, so something is really wrong somewhere. So I went to my doctor. I complained to him that something needed to be done. I don't want to be going to emergency again because they're doing nothing. At this point in my life, I wasn't even able to walk properly. That's how bad it was. I wasn't able to walk properly. The pain was too much. Like when I move, like you want to just be like this. Like if you move, that pain, I just want to be like stagnant like that. I went back to the doctors that, okay, you need to do something. So they referred me. They gave me an option to choose between, I think, 3 hospitals. So there was one private hospital in it. So I chose that one. So I went to the hospital and they did the MRI test for me. And that was when they now knew what exactly was wrong. So all this diagnosis they've been doing with the scan was actually wrong. It was wrong, so they now knew what was happening to me. I started wondering that this thing has been happening to my body for a very long time. And, the pain I went through was even worse than my labor pain when I had my child. Why would you allow me go through all this? But their job is like more of you identify what is wrong with you, and it's like you have to take control of it. That's how it works in this country now. That's the truth of the matter. You have to take control. You cannot leave your life in your doctor's hands anymore. And as at that time, it was really bad, and the pandemic kicked in. And made matters worse, So definitely NHS couldn't do anything. They're not doing any operations. They're not doing, any medical treatment for anybody. So you have to be on the waiting list. So I then try to, of course, go to private. But if you have to do a medical insurance when you have a pre-existing condition will not be covered because you had it before you got insured with them. Do you understand? So that was an issue, So, but fortunately now I'm okay and I'm all right. But I decided to talk about this because 2 days ago I was listening to a program, and the lady was saying that all her life she had the same kind of pain and bleeding and all that, and she always thought it was just normal, like I thought. Unknown to her, I was lucky. I had a child. Of course, I was able to get pregnant with it and everything like that. So I was okay. But for her, she never in her life ovulated before. Never ever ovulated before. So until she got married and she wasn't having kids for 2 years, something like that. Then she decided to go to the doctors and they checked it out. And they realized that she never ovulated. Like never in her life ovulated. And luckily for her, the condition was reversible. You can imagine in some instances, let's just assume it was too late to be reversed. What would have happened to her? So that made me say, okay, let me talk about this. If you know you are somebody that always have that kind of pain, you bleed a lot, and you think it's normal, please, it is not normal. Do something about it. Insist that something is done about it. Check yourself out. I'm telling you the honest truth. I've come to realize, because I now have to search, make inquiries about this thing, and I realize it's happening to a lot of people. And because of our ignorance, we just think it's normal, nothing is happening to me. And so we have to be responsible for ourselves. If you have a child that's always bleeding, having heavy bleeding, or is having so much pain, please see to it. And for some of us that we are, we live in this country, I think we need to look into having private medical insurance. And being honest with you, with the private, oh my God, do you want to talk about the treatment? They attend to you, they do the needful, they treat you like a human being, that you are. So spending between £30 and £50 a month that you can use on pizza, on whatever, in a day, to take care of your future, your life, is not expensive at all. I learned that the hard way. And now we plead with everybody to please look into this. I'm not advertising for anybody or anything, but because of what I went through, I learned the hard way. And to be honest, I wouldn't want anybody to go through the pain I went through. My friends are the only one that can tell you what I went through. Because they were there for me, they saw everything. It was really bad, but I thank God I'm okay, everything's okay. What of those people that didn't get sorted? What of those people that didn't get all right? What are those people that died through that pain? When you say we all pay for our car insurance, right? That doesn't mean we're going to have an accident. In fact, we pray never to have an accident, but we still pay for the car insurance. How much more your life? Your life matters a lot. Please, I want everybody to look into this. Protect your life. It's very important. With such money every month to protect your future, your life, it doesn't matter that you're going to be sick or anything. But what if life is life? You understand what I mean? Life is life. Things happen. Life happens. For me, if I had a private, it would have been done from the beginning. Like I had that issue, I would have gone private. Everything would have been sorted just like that. Because actually, it was a very simple procedure, to be honest with you. Very simple procedure that made me go through a lot for your kids. Please look into them. If something is happening to them in that way, please look into it. Protect them on time. On time. I know of a very sad one. I really don't want to talk about sad one, but so that you know how bad this could get. That woman had to get her womb removed because it was too late. And she didn't have a child, and that means she could never have a child. Please, let's look into this. I hope I've been able to be straight up with you. Thank you so very much for listening to me. I would like your comments. I know a lot of us has gone through this or something similar, or we have the experience. Please share with us in the comment section. Let's learn from it. Like I've shared mine. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so very much. I love you. I'll leave you today. Have a fabulous day and see you next week. Love you. Bye. Bye.
Shabby, now we sing a come. Extraordinary things I'm doing. Ordinary things don't you move me again. Extraordinary things I'm doing. Ordinary things don't you move me again. No. Ṣé ohun tí o fẹ́ ṣe, kí ló fẹ́ ṣe? Ṣé ohun tí o fẹ́ ṣe, nìgbà no dey give me headache. Ṣé ohun tí o fẹ́ ṣe, kí ló fẹ́ ṣe? Ṣé ohun tí o fẹ́ ṣe, nìgbà no dey give me headache. Yeah. club all night. Many things I don't try. I'm a boy, don't I? Gas me up, no time. Oh, I'm trending, I don't know why. Oh, I don't need some boost up. I lost up on my own money, only some boost up. If you get in my check money, but give me shawty low, give me valley no. I'll get I don't know, life is yellow. You don't know tomorrow. Extraordinary.